Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and I want to give you a March 2022 material shortage update on what's going on in the market with different materials. So the latest developments that we're seeing is windows continue to be massively delayed. In fact, more and more window manufacturers are going into those long delays. We've kind of been chasing the ones that are a little shorter lead time, and now we're just blowing out those lead times because they're getting so much volume because they can get them to you faster. So now everybody's at 16 weeks plus. There's just no getting around it, period. On the wood side, lumber prices have stayed pretty flat, although they've slightly started to uptake with the rise in oil prices. That is affecting lumber just because there's a lot of transport costs in lumber. So you're talking maybe a couple dollars per sheet of plywood. It hasn't doubled, but it's starting to tick up just a little bit. And then the same thing for wood, things like 2x4s, that's starting to just inch up a little bit. Other large increases that we've seen in the past couple months are especially in concrete blocks and just straight up concrete. Concrete by the yard from 2021 to this time 2022 has gone up by over 60%. So where I used to be able to buy a yard of concrete for maybe 150 bucks, I now pay, what's 1.6 times 1. I now pay somewhere in the neighborhood of like $230 for the same yard of concrete. So now I'm paying 80 extra bucks for per yard of concrete. If you consider you might need 100 yards to do a house slab, that's like $8 grand, I think, is what that math comes out to. So those concrete prices are starting to inch up, which is moving things like block construction to be way more expensive. And so we get into the wood versus block conversation a lot with people a lot more. But that said, we're also running into the prices of labor. So that's the biggest thing that we've noticed is the material prices they haven't come down at all, but they've gotten flat to where they're not just continually increasing. But what we're running into now is people, because of a couple different things. In Florida, the minimum wage is going up to $15 an hour soon. There's a lot of demand for people, and there's just a lot of jobs, and there's not a lot of available talented people. So talented people, wages are starting to really rise rapidly. So what we've seen is, whereas 2 years ago, a starting construction hourly employee may have gotten $12 to $15 an hour, currently that looks more like $18 to $22 an hour. And I'm talking literally labor learning how to do framing, labor learning how to do concrete, learning how to do drywall. That rate is now $18 to $22 an hour for the guy who's just helping. The lead people are getting now somewhere in $30 to $40 per hour. And so that shift upward in pricing, and by the way, these are not like people with licenses, these are just like laborers that work for the people with licenses. So this is really shoving the cost of labor way up, and so it's making construction seem out of reach for a lot of people. Now, the one thing that I haven't added in our other videos that I want to tell you about right now as we're talking through this is if you're having trouble figuring out how you're going to afford your construction project, you're just going to pay for it out of pocket, but now you're not sure how you're going to do it. There are renovation loans that allow you to take the future value of your project and write a loan on that based on what the house will appraise for after the renovation is done, and give you that money now to actually do the renovation. It's a brilliant product. You pay for it at rates and payments comparable to a mortgage. And so it's really cheap money. So being able to do that allows a lot of people to unlock a lot of future value in their home to where they don't have to lose their equity and they don't have to spend a lot of cash out of pocket. So if you're interested in doing that, go to homelove.construction/design, and we can start designing a project for you and start the financing process right away so that we can actually get you a renovation loan in order to pay for the renovation that you're going to be doing based on the future value of the home. If you're interested in that, again, go to homelove.construction/design, and we can start the design build process with you right now, today. If you got value out of this video and you appreciate these updates, please go down and click the subscribe button, smash it if it's something that you're into, and I will see you in the next vid. Appreciate you very much. Peace.